Kurt Busch has joined us here in the Infield Media Center. And before we get started with Kurt, I'm going to ask everybody to please remember that lots of work is being done today and this morning, and that if you have extended conversations, to please either wait until we are done or take them elsewhere. Thank you. Kurt Busch, third in points, has been near the top all season through our first 6 races. Martinsville, you're pretty good here.
Yeah, it's been a nice, solid start to our season. We had a little bit of a fumble last week with just missing the setup at California and struggling to a 17th place finish. But overall, we're happy with the way the season has started, and now that we're parked by the season standings points order, it's nice to be up front, close to where the competitors are as far as the top 5 guys and who are going to be the candidates as the season progresses. It'll be exciting just to be in the mix. And this track here at Martinsville always challenges everybody. But it seems like there's a few guys like Denny Hamlin or Jimmy Johnson that have definitely had a handle on it better than most groups. So we'll have to challenge ourselves to get into that elite category this weekend and see what we can do. It's an interesting strategy as far as practice session goes today, with all of our practice being here on Friday and then coming in tomorrow just for 2 laps of qualifying. So we'll have to see how we can adapt to that the best way that we can.
Questions for Kurt? Let's go Dick and then Jay over here in the middle. Dick, raise your hand for our helper there. Thank you.
Dick Bergman, NASCAR on Fox. Kurt, how easy is it to buzz the tires coming off the corners here, given the amount of horsepower you guys have?
It's pretty easy to abuse the car in any which way, whether it's overdriving it, getting into the corner, and locking up a left front tire, or even missing the apex and sliding the front tires through the center of the corner. But the biggest thing here is the car will handle well on corner exit for about 20 laps, and then it starts to creep in lap after lap after lap on the forward bite. The grip in the rear tires just goes away, and that's what you have to manage if you want to be successful here. So it's 20 laps of good, and then you're out there wrestling the car for a good 60, 70 laps, or until when there's a yellow or when it's time to pit. You don't see green flag stops often here, but it's all about rear tire management, I believe, if you want to be successful here.
Jay, raise your hand for a helper. There you go. Then we'll go to Johnny and Lee.
Jay Pennell with front stretch and all left turns. Despite how well you've been running this year, you know, you in the top 5 the majority of the race, almost every race. You've been very vocal on the radio, criticizing the calls that have been made, the adjustments made, saying you guys are some of the worst on pit road doing this. What's missing there, and you know, what do you guys need to do to fix that? Or is it just make it more frustrating that you're running so well and making those, as opposed to if you're running 30th and making those calls?
Yeah, we just need to do a better job of finishing off the races. When we're running top 5, we've been credited for 8th, 9th, and 7th our last 3 races. And so that wears on you, because those few points that you lose each week will continue to add up and add up. And the next thing you know, you're right at the cusp of 8th, 9th, 10th in points. So we just have to find better adjusting tools during the race, whether it's done with our engineering staff, whether it's something that Steve Addington finds. It's just a matter of trying to be the best that we can be and make adjustments on the car as the race progresses.
Johnny, raise your hand for a microphone while we operate in stereo here.
Johnny Buck with the Martinsville Bulletin. How tough is this place on a rookie driver, and what is a realistic good finish for someone who might be here for the very first time of their career in a Sprint Cup car?
I would say that this is the toughest track for a rookie to come to. There's no track that will compare anywhere in the country to Martinsville. And then you stack 43 guys out there, there's no room for error. And my first time here, I think I ran into somebody right away, knocked a hole in the radiator, went back out after they put another radiator in it, and knocked that radiator out of it too. So I think a realistic good finish is just pulling the car back in the garage and making the maximum amount of laps.
Lee, raise your hand.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. When the season began, you could have posed the reorganization of Penske as, okay, 2 cars will be stronger, Or, you know, will we have as much information? And if a guy's not running well, is he dragging down the other two? You know, however you wanted to do it. Given the fact that we're already, you know, 5 races, 6 races, and moving, what, you know, what are your early assessments of the 2-car operation?
It seems to have worked well with the key additions that we've added to not only my team, but to Brad's team as well, as far as at-track staff and the personnel. I think that's positive. Where we still struggle is getting the front ends to turn properly compared to the competition. With the information that we have through modeling, through video data that we record, we just seem to struggle with center of the corner speed, no matter if we're at a track like Bristol, a place like California, even Phoenix and Vegas. Those are the common themes, and it's not due to any of the restructuring. It's just finding that edge that other teams have. I mean, we watched Carl Edwards go winless all the way to the last couple races in 2010, and now he's on fire. They just didn't wake up on the other side of the bed. They found something, and that's what it takes in this garage. I've been through it 11 years now to see cycles happen positively, see cycles happen negatively. We just have to find some key ingredients, and it'll be done through the key people that we have within our group. It's not that we had 3 teams before and it was dragging us down. It's just we have the 2 teams now, and we still have the same issues.
We'll go Rusty, Claire, Channel 10 up here at the front, and then Nate.
Rusty Ball and NASCAR Media Group. Just asking you to look ahead to Talladega. After the Daytona that you had, do you have a lot of optimism going to Talladega now?
Yeah, I feel like the restrictor plate program at Penske is very strong, and that was the best speed weeks that I've ever put together, with a couple wins and the finish in the top 5 at the Daytona 500. Talladega will be very similar now to Daytona on how the teams have gotten smarter, the drivers have gotten smarter on this 2-car draft, and I expect to see the 2-car draft play out at Talladega like it did down in Daytona.
Claire.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius NASCAR Radio. How much do you think your patience has improved as you come to a place like Martinsville? You would think early on your personality would be hard to kind of keep it inside when you get frustrated on the track here. Has that changed for you, and how much?
Yeah, I'd say the patience level has grown over the years. Most veteran drivers find a comfort zone to fit into when things are getting exciting. But it's funny, I won here early in my career, and I haven't done anything since. So patience necessarily hasn't helped me in this atmosphere here at Martinsville. But you have to have it at all the short tracks because things happen so quickly.
Channel 10 right here.
Chris Whitley, WSLS. Kurt, just talk a little bit about the change in qualifying going to Saturday. Obviously, from a fan perspective, it's probably going to be a better thing. They get more out of the Saturday experience. But from a driver, how does that change what you do, and especially in practice today?
Yeah, today we just have to cram everything together, race trim and qualifying trim. There's going to be a lot of laps done today. I would expect our lap total to be getting close to 250 laps just here on Friday, and that's going to be half a race. And then coming in tomorrow on Saturday for just 2 qualifying laps, that's where a driver really has to step up and show what he's able to do for his team and make sure he gets the best out of that car. At a short track, thousandths of a second dictate if you're going to be up front or if you're going to be back 10 rows back. So we hope to get our best effort in today to make our job as easy as it can be tomorrow. But for the race fans, I think it's great to create the weekend atmosphere of you come in to watch a truck race and you're getting Cup qualifying as well, and you get the full action on Sunday with the full 500 laps. So whatever we can do to make it better for our fans, I think NASCAR has adjusted to it, as well as the racetracks are doing the same thing.
Go ahead and get Monty back there since you're with Monty. Raise your hand. Yeah, and then we'll come up here and get Nate and David.
Monty Dutton, Gaston is it. Kurt, over time, Martinsville has always has been a place that, from the first time people raced here, brakes were an issue. Nowadays, with the advancement of technology, there are a lot of people say it's not that big of a problem, but from time to time, people do run out of brakes. Is this a thing where, if you've been around, if you're experienced, it's not really an issue, or is it something that you still worry about when you come to this track?
Yeah, I think early on, this track was a challenge for all the cars to see if they could make it 500 laps on the equipment. I mean, primarily the brakes, of course, but this track, built in the 40s, they started racing here early, was more of a challenge for the cars, and it still is. But now it seems like the cars are very durable, and they can make the full 500 laps no problem. I always worry about the brakes in the back of my mind on glazing them over. And what that means is you get the same amount of heat in the rotor as you do in the pad, and it doesn't have the stopping power like it would in the beginning of the race, similar to what you would want at the end. So, yeah, the brakes are still an issue. You can abuse them and hurt your overall effort as far as creating a good lap time if you're too hard on the brakes throughout the day.
We'll go Nate and then in with Newt there.
Nate Ryan, USA Today. Kurt, last year Denny Hamlin came in here and was like 19th in points. He won this race, and it kicked off really good string for him. This year he kind of comes in a similar position, probably wanting a victory again. Are you a believer? Can a victory turn around a team like that? I know that, like, 2004, I think you won the Chase opener. It seemed to set the tone for that first playoff. I mean, can a win mean that much to a team in terms of establishing momentum or reinstilling, like, spirit?
Yeah, wins do great things for team morale. Most importantly, the biggest thing that a win does is it validates what setup you have in the race car and what key ingredient can you take from that win and apply to other racetracks. Now, Martinsville, it's its own identity. But if you go and win next week at Texas and you feel like you had something special in that car and you take it to the next mile and a half and you do well with it, then that's something that you run with for a while, and it just carries you in points for quite some time. And that's the thing that we need to find at Penske Racing to help us maintain where we are in points.
Go ahead, Newt.
Yeah, Kyle, David Newton, ESPN.com. You know what it's like at Bristol to just feel almost invincible. You show up, you're going to win. What's that? Denny and Jimmy have that here. What's that feeling like? I mean, do you actually go there feeling kind of bulletproof or invincible?
The moment that you feel like you've got an edge on the competition, you just have to step back and go, okay, now I need to utilize this the best way that I can. That means it's a good racetrack for you and the team, and you want to get a win, of course. Something short of a top 5 would be somewhat of a disappointment. But you go into the weekend knowing that what you've had in the past works, and you continue to polish up on that to keep your edge. And it just seems like the weekends just flow so smooth. It seems like you have the practice speed when you unload off the truck. It seems like any of the changes that you make the car better. The next thing you know, you're running around and you've got the best average lap time as far as practice goes, and you're as best prepared for Sunday more than anybody else. It just seems like the weekend just goes that much easier.
Thank you, Kurt. Good luck this weekend.
All right, thanks.